Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 2015 Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. We are now at Series 12, as all the teams have played 33 games. And what I'm doing is, until we get to about Series 16, I'm just going to be doing one game per series and playing the rest offline so we can get through this project and get towards the playoffs and whatnot when it gets exciting with the pennant race. So, let's go ahead without further ado. Let's look at the standings through 33 games for all teams. Cleveland leads the Red Sox by 2 games. Houston and the Mets are tied at third place with 4 games back. Tampa and Cincinnati are tied next with 5 games back. Seattle and Arizona 8 and 9 games back, and then Philly and San Francisco bringing up the rear as a last place tie. Today's game, of course, Cincinnati and Cleveland from Progressive Field in Cleveland. Cincinnati 18 and 15, Cleveland 23 and 10. Wouldn't say it's a must game for Cincinnati, but if they lose, they will fall 6 games back, and that's going to be harder and harder to catch up at that point. Look at some injuries and other notes on here. Brandon Phillips is still injured for one more game for Cincinnati, so he will not be available. So Skip Schumacher will take his place at second base. And Lonnie Chisenhall is still out one more game for Cleveland, so he will not be playing in either third base or the outfield. Starting pitchers for today's game, Josh Tomlin for the Indians, and his injury check is a 6-7. So if we roll a 6-7, he's susceptible to injury. Making his final start of the season, Raciel Iglesias, is his fatigue, or not fatigue, but his injury is 6-11. Now Iglesias can stay around and pitch some in relief, but his number of starts he has started 16 games in real life. This will be start number 5 for him, so that's 1/3 of the starts. He does have a relief rating. I have not used him in relief, I don't think at all, so he will transition to the bullpen, and the Reds will bring on a new pitcher that they will be using. And it's actually the pitcher they got from Kansas City in the Johnny Cueto trade. So going forward in the series, Cincinnati will be using John Lamb. He's not the one they got from Cincinnati. From Kansas City. They actually got left-handed pitcher Brandon Finnegan from Kansas City in that Cueto trade. But Lamb was called up, so Lamb he had 10 starts in real life, so he's going to get 3 starts in this little replay. So he will take over. Between him and Finnegan, they will fill the role formerly held by Johnny Cueto, who was traded to Kansas City. All right, Josh Tomlin will be making his second start of the season, as he's recently called up. In his previous start, he was a winner. He was 1-0 with an ERA of an even 3. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Did give up 2 home runs, so that's something to keep an eye on as well. So Josh Tomlin, and in the 2015 season, he had 10 starts, so he's going to get 3. This will be number 2. He'll get 1 more, and then that'll be it for him. They'll shut him down after that. 7-2 with a 3.02 ERA. So he had 9 decisions and 10 starts, which tells me he pitches, keeps his team in the game and pitches a decent length. He's got a fatigue of 6. Iglesias also has a fatigue of 6 as well. Let's see, we've got our dice. Didn't want to use all red because of Cincinnati, since Cleveland's the home team. They also have blue as an alternate color, so going with the blue dice and the red D20, and we'll go with that. Do have the game up on the computer, so I'm able to give you the up-to-the-minute player stats for each team as they come up. And leading things off will be Billy Hamilton. He would normally be batting 9th, particularly in DH games, but without Phillips, they wanted to get a better leadoff hitter up there. So Hamilton will be leading off. He's hitting .221, 1 homer, 9 RBI, and 77 at-bats. So Josh Tomlin pitching to Billy Hamilton, and Series 12, matchup number 1, the Battle of Ohio, Part 2, is underway. And some reason the white die didn't go through. That's weird. Kind of a pregnant pause there. 4-5, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Hamilton, I guess he got caught looking. It was a pregnant pause, so he got caught looking. Tomlin threw him out, or got him out as a strikeout. 1 away, and that brings up Eugenio Suarez, the shortstop. He's hitting 258, 4 homers, 13 driven in. 6-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop in this case for Cleveland is Francisco Lindor. He is a 1. 1-18 is a good play all day. 2 down. Easy play for Lindor. 2 down, that brings up Joey Votto, first baseman, and he is hitting 306, 4 homers, 16 driven in. Tomlin, 2-9, and Votto gets the swing at that, and he strikes out to end the inning. So, boy, 1-2-3 inning for Josh Tomlin as he takes care of the Reds rather easily. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Cincinnati 0, and the Cleveland Indians coming to bat. And Raisel Iglesias will be the pitcher, making his final start of the season. But he will be in relief. He does have relief rating, so they'll hang on to him for relief purposes. And Murphy, David Murphy, will lead things off before he gets traded to California. So he's got his last couple games left. And let's see here. He's hitting 338, 2 homers, 5 runs driven in. That's a 5-8 against the lefty. Struck him out. So Iglesias gets the K. 1 down for Jason Kipnis, and he's hitting 349, 2 homers, 18 driven in. That's a 3-5, and more damage done for Kipnis. 3-5, a 1-9 is a triple. 10-20 is a double. That is a 6. It's a triple for Jason Kipnis. How about that? A 1-out triple. And now Cincinnati is going to have to make a decision. I think it's already been made. They are bringing the infield in against Carlos Santana. And Santana on the season is hitting 254, 5 homers, 23 driven in. 1-2. And that is a ground ball, first base C. Let's look at the chart with the infield in. Infield in. And a ground ball C with the infield in. Run on third has to hold. So 2 down is a freeze Kipnis at third base. Votto will take it to the bag himself. 2 away. And here comes the dangerous Michael Brantley. He's hitting 342, 4 homers, and 26 driven in. Do have Lindor on deck if you want to pitch around Brantley, but I think Iglesias is going to go after him. 6-6, and he works out. It's a fly to center to end the inning. And I think what I'm going to do here temporarily is, in pencil, I'm going to put the hits and runs as they occur, so you don't have to worry about trying to total up the line score. Maybe that will help. I don't know. I'm trying it out. Pencil, so I can erase it. I like to try new things once in a while just to see how they work out. But a lot of times I find out the first chance that they don't work out, and I just scrap the idea. But if you don't try things, you'll never know. All right, so 1 innings in the books. No score. Tomlin back out for the Tribe. And the Todd father, Todd Frazier, will do the leading off for Cincinnati. And Frazier hitting a robust 368, 8 homers, 35 runs driven in. Boy, he's one of the MVP-type candidates. Having a great season so far. Here's Tomlin. 5-9, and that's a straight-up in-home run chance, and that is gone. Kaboom! Todd Frazier, home run number 9. The Todd father has just put the Reds up by the score of 1-0. Cincinnati takes the lead 1-0 on the Todd Frazier home run, his 9th of the season. A meatball delivered by Tomlin. He's got the in-home runs at the 8 and 9 position against righties. Ooh, dangerous stuff. Here's Jay Bruce. He's hitting 214, struggling, but he does have 5 homers and 13 driven in. 2-6 for Bruce, and he's going to pop out to short. Lots of stuff in column 2, but the 2-6 is a pop out to shortstop. So Lindor fields it, 1 away, as Tomlin tries to regroup, and that brings up the left fielder Marlon Byrd. He's hitting 296, 8 homers, 15 driven in, so he's got the long ball going for him as well. 112, and that's a single. So Marlon Byrd gets himself a single. And that's hit number 2 for the Reds. Byrd is on. He's not going to be held. He's an E Steeler, so he definitely won't be going anywhere. And he doesn't have too much longer with the Reds. He's got a little bit longer, but he will eventually get traded to San Francisco. So they're going to enjoy his production while they can. Remember, Cincinnati was the last place team in real life, so they traded off their players like Johnny Cueto and some others. So Bird was one of those as well. Here's the catcher, Brian Pena. He's hitting .290, no homers, 4 driven in. 4-3, switch it to batting left. 4-3 is a ground ball, third base X. That is Ramirez. He's a 3. 3 and a 9 for a third baseman. Let's see what that does. 3 and a 9 actually goes to his error check. And for Ramirez, he is an E14. E14 and a 3. E14 and a 3 is a 1 base error. So booted by Ramirez, and that's going to put runners at first and second. The error on Ramirez, E5. And that's going to bring up Schumacher. He has taken the place of the injured Phillips. Schumacher on the season hitting .224, no homers, 4 runs driven in, so the Reds definitely get a drop in production there. Infield looking to turn 2. 6-5, and that's a ground ball, shortstop X. And this time Lindor gets a shot. He's a 1. 1 and a 2. Should be a double play as far as I know. 1 and a 2 is a ground ball A. Anything on a range check on a 1, you're going to get a ground ball A. That is a 6-4-3 twin killing. And boy, that saved Tomlin's bacon from further damage. 6-4-3 double play. Reds get the run on the homer from the Todd father, but that's it. Could have been worse. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Cincinnati. Iglesias will come back out. And Lindor will be your leadoff man. And on the season, Lindor, .294, 4 homers, 10 runs driven in. He was a late call-up, as he did not start the season with the Indians, so I didn't let him start the season, our season with the Indians. I waited till we got through a few series first. So due up, it'll be Lindor, Ramirez, and Moss against Iglesias. 6-5, ground ball, shortstop X. That is Suarez. He's a 3. 3 and a 3, probably going to get through for a hit. Shortstop, a 3 and a 3 is a single. So it's going to sneak through for a base hit. Francisco Lindor gets the base hit. Second hit of the game for the Indians. Now Lindor is a B stealer. Let's check Pena's arm is a +1. So Lindor as a B stealer starts as a 13. Being held makes him a -3 for a 10. But then you add 1 to Pena, makes him an 11. So 1 to 11, they're going to send him. And he's in there. Stolen base for Lindor. So not only does he get the base hit, but he steals second base. Gets himself into scoring position right away, and here, back come the Indians before you even know it. Here's Jose Ramirez, and Lindor will have to be held at second base. Ramirez hitting .260, 1 homer, 12 driven in. 5-7 against the switch hitter batting left is a strikeout. So big strikeout there for Iglesias as he gets the K. And I'm going to have to pause the video because I had the windows open because it's a nice morning, but it is starting to get a little warmer. And, of course, the noise outside is a little bit distracting to me. So let me pause the video. I'll be right back. All right, we are back after that strikeout. That will bring up Brandon Moss. And Moss, in limited duty, is hitting .218, 4 homers, 13 driven in. It's a 2-7, and he's going to fly to center. That's 2 down. And that'll be up to Yan Gomes, the catcher. Gomes is hitting a lowly 154, a homer, and 9 runs driven in. He's kind of splitting the catching duties with Perez 50-50. Since Perez caught the last game, Gomes catches this game. 3-9, and he's going to strike out to end the inning. So the Indians threaten with the Lindor double, but come away empty-handed. And at the end of 2, it is still Cincinnati 1 and Cleveland nothing. Did have to cut the air conditioner on, getting a little warm. trying to get some of the fresh air in here from this morning, but now it's getting closer to like 10:30 or so, so it's starting to warm up a bit, and I don't want the humidity getting in here and having to recool the whole house again. So the air is back on, so hopefully the noise isn't too horrible. All right, Tucker Barnhart, the backup catcher, is actually the designated hitter in this game. And so that means if Brian Pena, the catcher, gets injured, Barnhart will have to come in and catch, and the Reds will lose their DH, but we're taking that chance. So Barnhart hitting .283, a homer and 3 runs driven in. That's a 6.8. Now we said 6.7 is Tomlin's injury check, so 6.8 is fine. And he struck him out. So Josh Tomlin rings up Barnhart for the strikeout. Back to the top of the order for Billy Hamilton. (1-4) for Hamilton. He's going to line it right to second base, and Kipnis snags it for out number 2. Hit it around the screws, but right at Mr. Kipnis. So 2 down for Eugenio Suarez. 2-7, and that's a 1-19 single, so most likely will be a base hit. And it is. So Suarez with the 2-out single. Hit number 3 for Cincinnati. 2 for the for the Indians. Suarez, C-stealer, he will have to be held, but he's not going to try to go anywhere. Not with Joey Votto coming up. So Joey Votto will step up to the plate with Suarez held. Tomlin, 3-3, and that is a ground ball to second. That's going to end the inning. As Kipnis will just throw it to first for the easy play to take care of the Reds here in the third. And we go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0 Cincinnati. So far through the first 2 innings, Iglesias has held the potent Tribe offense to no runs. Don't know how long that will continue. Leading off will be the former leadoff hitter for the Indians, Michael Bourne, but he's been dropped to number 9 because he's struggling so much. He's hitting .213, no homers, and 9 runs driven in. It's like a secondary leadoff hitter batting 9th. 4-4 will be a ground ball third base X. That's the Todd father. He is a 2. And it's 2 and a 12. It's going to go to his error check for Todd Frazier. And his error rating is a 20. E20. E20 and a 6 for a third baseman. And that is a 1-base error. E20 and a 6 is a 1-base error. So now both teams have committed an error. And that will put the leadoff man, Michael Bourne, on first base, and he is definitely a threat to run. Interestingly enough, both errors occurred to the third baseman. So Michael Bourne is an A stealer, which means he starts as a 15. Being held drops him 2 to a 13. Pena's a +1 arm, makes it a 14. So 1-14, they'll send him. And he's caught stealing. Boy, good throw there from Brian Pena. And applying the tag was the shortstop, Suarez. Pena just put a BB down there and took care of Mr. Bourne. So Bourne is out of there. Base is cleared. Now for Murphy. 6-8. 6-8 is a fly to right. That's 2 down. So the caught stealing kind of took the energy out of the Indians' innings, apparently. Here's Kipnis. 2-4, and that's a walk, so not over yet. 2-out walk. Big innings have occurred from 2-out walks. Kipnis will be held, but he will not try to run. Here's Carlos Santana. 3-6, and look at that. 1-10's a home run. 11-20, and it's a double. That's a double for Carlos Santana. We'll check Kipnis and see if he can score. The double is assumed to go to center field by default. Center fielder Hamilton is a -2 arm. So Kipnis runs at a 15. It was being held, makes him a 14, but there are 2 outs, makes him a 16. But then the -2 from Hamilton drops him to a 14. So a 1-14, he's still going to try to score. And he's in there. So Kipnis RBI double from Carlos Santana. And the Indians have now tied the game. They both, actually the line score for both teams is the same, 1-3-1. Not sure how this is going to work, but trying it anyway. But 1-3-1 is a identical line score for both. Some people play that, you know, if you throw through the plate, that the guy on second go to third. To me, that's more of a super advanced rule, and I'm playing advanced, so I'm just going to. Santana, not a very good runner, so I'm going to leave him where he is. All right, here's Michael Brantley. 1-8, and he's going to walk. So the inning continues. All this is happening with 2 outs and bases empty. That's what I was saying earlier. A 2-out walk kind of stirred the whole thing up. And now here's Lindor, very dangerous. Iglesias has to bear down. 6-6 switch hitter is a fly to center. That's going to end the inning. So I guess Iglesias may be fortunate to get out with just the 1 run. But the Cleveland Indians do tie the score, thanks to the double from Carlos Santana. And at the end of 3, it's 1-1. And the Todd father coming back out, his home run, the only run coming across for the Reds, courtesy of his home run, which was his 9th of the season. RBI 36, a solo shot. So Todd Frazier, he can keep the magic going. He found that in-home run off of Tomlin his first time up. 2-10, this time he's on his own card and he pops to short. 1 down as Lindor puts it away. And that'll bring up Jay Bruce. 5-5, and that's a strikeout. So Tomlin getting a little bit of a boost from that run support. 2 up and 2 down for Marlon Byrd. 1-3, it's a ground ball to short. So 1-2-3 inning as Lindor throws to Santana. A quick and easy 1-2-3 inning. And the Reds are made short work of by Tomlin. Bottom of the 4th we go. Still 1-1. And Iglesias back out. We'll be facing Jose Ramirez. It'll be Ramirez, Moss, and Gomes. 3-3, and that's a ground ball to second. 1 down. Schumacher, second baseman, puts it away. Throws to Votto for out number 1. It's Brandon Moss, the DH. 6-9, and that is a trouble spot for Iglesias. 1-3 is a triple. 4-20 is your double. That is a double for Brandon Moss. A 1-out double for Moss. 4th hit for the Indians. Moss will not be held as an E-stealer. And here's Yan Gomes. 6-10. 6-11 is the Iglesias injury check. That's a 6-10. Ground ball first base B. With it going to the right side, Moss, even though it's a B, the fact that it went to the right side, that's my little homebrew there, is I do allow him to get to third base. Just makes sense. 2 down, and Michael Bourne, the batter. Chance to put the Indians in the lead. 4-3. Ground ball pitcher X. That's Iglesias. He's a 3 E30. 3, and we're going to an error check. And his error rating is a E30. That could be troublesome. E30 and a 5 for a pitcher. E30 and a 5 for a pitcher is a 1-base error. So Iglesias boots it, hurts his own cause, and that will bring home the go-ahead run as the Indians now take the lead on the second error of the game. Second error of the game by the Cincinnati Reds. It's a big one. This one on Iglesias. And that brings up Murphy, top of the order. Bourne can think about running, but I think they're going to let Murphy swing. 5-6, and he grounds to second to end the inning. But damage done as The Indians take the lead 2-1 as we go to the 5th inning. And coming up for the Reds, it'll be catcher Brian Pena, followed by Schumacher and Barnhart, bottom of the order for the Reds against Josh Tomlin here in the 5th. 2-1 favor of the Cleveland Indians. 2-4-1 for the Indians, and 1-3-2 for the Reds so far. Pena, 6'10". Again, Tomlin's a 6'7" injury, so 6'10" is fine. 6'10's a fly to right. One away as Murphy takes care of it. One down, and that's going to bring up Schumacher, and the Reds will be very happy to get Phillips back in the next game. 2-7, struck him out, 2 down. That's why they miss not having Phillips, especially at the top of the order. The lineup just changes dramatically because of that. Here's Barnhart, 5'8", switch hitter, 5'8", 1-19 is going to be a double. So Tucker Barnhart cracks a 2-out double. Question is, will it do him any good? It's going to require Billy Hamilton to drive him home. Barnhart as an E runner, E stealer, will not be held. So Hamilton against Tomlin. 4-5, struck him out, and that's the end of the inning. So big out there for Tomlin to get out of that. Avoid trouble. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 2-1 in favor of Cleveland, as the double came up to be none effect. And leading off for Cleveland, it'll be Jason Kipnis, Santana, and Brantley. Heart of the order for Cleveland. The heart of the order. So Iglesias has to be careful. Bullpen activity for the Reds is already got some light tossing down there by left-hander Manny Parra. 5-5 for Iglesias. It's a fly to left, 1 down. So he took care of Kipnis. Good idea to keep the leadoff man off the bases. Here's Santana. 1-11 against a righty is a ground ball to first. It's a C, so we're going to call it 3-1. As Votto will flip to Iglesias, covering for out number 2. And Michael Brantley, the batter. 3-7. Let's fly to center. So it's 1-2-3 inning for Iglesias. He said, don't bring the bullpen in just yet. And pitchers are not batting, so you can use the pit. You can change pitchers based on pitching decisions, not on pinch hitting decisions. So we go to the top of the 6th. This is the fatigue inning coming up for both pitchers, Tomlin and Iglesias, and it will be Eugenio Suarez to lead it off for Cincinnati as they trail at 2-1. 1-8 for Suarez, and he's going to fly to center, 1 down. So 1 away, and it's going to send up Joey Votto. 1-7, and he's going to get a base hit. So Joey Votto, a 1-out single. And for the Reds, that is hit number 5 for Joey Votto. Votto is a B stealer. Gomes is a -1 arm, though, so that'd be a 1-9. They're not going to do it, especially with the Todd father coming up. But Votto will have to be held. 2-6, ground ball, third base. Say it's a 5-4-3 around the horn double play. Boy, talk about catching a bad break there. You're not going to hit and run with Frazier because you want to use his power, but in that particular case, he hit it hard but to the wrong spot. And Ramirez starts the 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. The Reds walk away dejected. Tomlin went 6 innings in his first start, his only other start, so they may cap him at 6 here. We'll see. Iglesias coming on, and he'll be facing Lindor. Ramirez and Moss start the bottom of the 6th. 4-9, switch it to batting left. 4-9's a double to right field. So Francisco Lindor a leadoff double, and that's the 5th hit for the Cleveland Indians. And now Manny Parra continues to loosen in the bullpen. Lindor will have to be held. Here's Ramirez. 6-7. That's the injury check for Tomlin, not for Iglesias. 6-7 is a ground ball second base X. We know Lindor is going to make it to third, but it is an X check on Schumacher, who is a 4. 4 and a 5. This might actually get through for a base hit. Let's see. 4 and a 5 for a second baseman. That's a single 2 stars, so not only will Lindor get to third, he will come around to score. RBI single from Ramirez makes it 3-1. Favor of Cleveland, and that's going to be it for Mr. Iglesias. His day is done. And Manny Parra will be coming on to face Brandon Moss. Get to the numbers on Iglesias when the inning is over, because he is responsible for Ramirez. So we can't close the book just yet. Manny Parra, the lefty, will be coming on. And on the replay, Manny Parra is 1-0 with a 1.74 ERA, 10 innings pitched, 8 hits, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. So very effective out of the Reds bullpen, and they're going to need it, as Manny Parra is now being used to face the left-hander Brandon Moss. Ramirez will be held, but he won't go anywhere. Cleveland trying to extend the lead. They lead at 3-1 at the moment. Lefty on lefty, Parra to Moss. 1-3 for Moss. That is a fly to left, 1 away. No ballpark effect there. Would have been a ballpark home run chance in super advanced, but in advanced. And I do kind of miss not playing super advanced, but I wanted to play this. I wanted to play this advanced. Just to play it that way. 1 away for Yan Gomes. 3-5 against the lefty, struck him out. So boy, Parra getting it done out of the bullpen for the Reds. And now here's Michael Bourne, number 9 hitter. 3-11 against the lefty. He's going to ground to short. Ramirez, though, was being held on. That's a plus. So that's going to get through for a base hit because they were holding the runner. That plus sign means it gets through for a hit. That is hit number 7 for Cleveland. And now they got runners on the corners with 2 outs and a potential 2-out rally with Murphy. Murphy coming to the plate. Lefty on lefty matchup. Going to keep Parra out there to face Murphy. 4-8, and that's trouble. Look at that. 1-12 is a triple. It's a 20. It will be a double. But Bourne most likely will score on this. Bourne was being held. He's a 16, being held, make him a 15. 2 outs will make him a 17. And the double is assumed to go to center field. Be a 15. So 1-15, they're going to send him. And he makes it. So Bourne scores as well on the double by David Murphy. 2-out double. And Cleveland just blown this thing wide open now. It is 5-1. Favor of the Indians. And that's just more runs charged to your starter, Iglesias. So his outing is not going to look as good as it could have, because Parra, who got the first 2 no problem, all of a sudden ran to a buzzsaw. And here's Kipnis, another lefty. 5-3, and that's a fly ball right field X. That is Jay Bruce, and Bruce is a 2. 2-12 is going to go to an error check. Bruce's error rating is a 3. And that is a 3. So for an outfielder, a 3, and for a right or left fielder, an E3 and a 3 is a 2-base error. 2-base error on Jay Bruce. When it rains, it pours. Yet another error by Cincinnati. That is their 3rd error of the game. And that will score another run to make it 6-1. All this with 2 outs. So Kipnis reaches second base courtesy of the 2-base error on Jay Bruce. It's now a 6-1 game, and that's going to be it for Manny Parra. He couldn't get out of the inning. He will have to leave. And let's see where they want to go now as far as a pitcher. They're going to bring on Burke Badenhop, right-hander. Carlos Santana's switch hitter, so it probably doesn't matter at this point. Also, it's 6-1, so it may not matter at this point. But that's where they're going, is Burke Badenhop. And on the replay, Badenhop is 0-0 with a 10.03 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 22 hits, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts. So when you're down 6-1, that's the kind of guy you bring in. So Badenhop, you got to use him eventually, so you might as well use him in blowouts. 3-5 for Santana. That's a walk. So the misery continues for Cincinnati pitching. And that's going to bring up Michael Brantley, the dangerous Brantley. 4-11. That's a ground ball to second. The inning's mercifully over as they retire Brantley on the 4-3 ground out. And at the end of 6, it is 6-1 in favor of Cleveland. And now I can go to the computer and see what the final line score is on the starting pitcher Iglesias. He's going to go 5 innings, give up 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 were earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Parra, 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, and 1 strikeout. So Iglesias looks to be saddled with the loss unless something magical happens. Now the Indians, let's see if they want to. They're going to make the move and take Tomlin out of there. They've got a 6-1 lead, and they've got a decent bullpen that can use some work, so they're going to bring in the bullpen. And let's see who they might want to go to. They're going to go to Adams, Austin Adams. Recently brought up Austin Adams, hasn't pitched in a long, long time, so Austin Adams will be the new pitcher. And on the replay, Adams is 0-0 with a 9.39 ERA, 8 innings pitched, 10 hits, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. He had been demoted to the minors. He's been brought back recently, and so now it's a good chance to bring him in with the score being what it is at 6-1. Now, if he struggles, of course, they will make a move. 6-8-1 for the Indians, 1-5-3 for the Reds, and we'll get the final results on Tomlin since he's coming out of the game. His final number, 6 innings pitched for Tomlin, giving up 5 hits and a run, no walks and 6 strikeouts. The only run he gave up was the home run to the Todd father. And, of course, he is set to get the win that would take him to 2-0. So Jay Bruce made that big error. He will lead things off. 1-7, he's going to fly to left, 1 away. 1 down for Marlon Byrd. 3-8 for Byrd, struck him out. So Austin Adams getting the benefit of the things being off the batter card. He just has to sit back and relax. Doesn't do any work. Now he has to 5-5, and he's going to give up a triple. As soon as he goes off his own card, Brian Pena hits a 2-out triple. Go figure. Finally get one off his card, and it's a triple. Of course, with 2 outs, that could go wasted. Because now here's Schumacher. Schumacher, the batter. 4-9, and that's a ground ball to first to end the inning. So they leave Pena at third, stranded. And the Reds just can't catch a break. So a nice inning there from Austin Adams. He's got a relief rating of 2 there, so they're going to let him pitch the 8th inning as well. Don't see any reason why they wouldn't. Badenhop's going to stay out there, I think. Actually, no, they're not. They're going to take Badenhop out. So Badenhop will be coming out. And we'll get a new pitcher for Cincinnati. it will be Mr. Villarreal, Pedro Villarreal. And his numbers, 0-0 with a 6.92 ERA, 13 innings pitched, 16 hits, 8 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So Pedro Villarreal is your new pitcher. And we are at the 7th inning stretch, which means take me out to the ball game. Stand up and sing. All right, 7th inning stretch in the books. And we pick it back up now. Bottom of the 7th, Francisco Lindor is your leadoff man against Pedro Villarreal, the right-hander. That's a 5-11. That's a fly ball right field XJ. Bruce will get another chance to make up for that 2-base error he had last time up. He is a 2. At 216, this time he will make the catch. So Jay Bruce puts it away with 1 away. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez. 3-4 for Ramirez. That's a single to left field. So Jose Ramirez continues his hot hitting. And for the Indians, that is hit number 9. To go with their 6 runs, and the 3 errors certainly make a big, huge difference. Ramirez will be held, but up 6-1. He's not going to go anywhere. Here's Brandon Moss. 3-9 for Moss, struck him out. 2 down. And it's going to bring up Yan Gomes. 4-3. Ground ball first base X. That is Joey Votto. He is a 2. 2 and an 8. It's going to be an error check, I believe. Let's double check that. Yes, it is. And Votto, his error rating is an E9. E9 and an 8 for a first baseman. E9 and an 8 is a ground ball A. So he is able to make that play. Since it was an X check, we're going to call it a 3-1 ground out, where he flips to Villarreal covering. Again, not that it makes any difference, just for the heck of it. And we will go to the top of the 8th. Due up for the Reds is number 9 hitter DH Tucker Barnhart. There's not a whole lot on the Reds bench that's any better. Bosch's the only left-hander, and he's not a very good hitter. The rest of the guys are right-handed, so they're going to stick with Tucker Barnhart as your DH. So Barnhart will be taking on Adams, his second inning of work for Adams. 6-1 Cleveland, top of the 8th. 2-7, and that's a 1-8 single for Barnhart. That's a 14. It's kind of the way it's been for the Reds. It's a line out to Kipnis. Reds unable to catch a break. And it looks like Cleveland's going to extend their lead even further, and the Reds will drop 6 games back. Really going to put them in a bind. But they weren't supposed to be contenders anyway. 1-5, and that's a walk to Billy Hamilton, but down 6-1, they're not going to steal. They will just, they need base runners. Doesn't matter where they are, they just need them. So Hamilton stealing really doesn't help them out all that much. So Suarez is the batter. 4-7, and that's a strikeout. It's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. So the strikeout is good. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Joey Votto. 4-2 against the lefty. It's a ground ball first base X. That's Santana. Santana is a 4. 4 and a 4. That might get through for a hit. 4 and a 4 is a double 2 stars. So Hamilton will make it to third. He would have scored had we tried to steal him, but he could also take a chance of being thrown out as well. But a double from Votto down the line. And all of a sudden, with 2 outs, they have 2 runners in scoring position for the Todd father, Todd Frazier. Now Adams might be close to needing relief. They do have action in the bullpen. They do have Mark Chabzinski loosening in the bullpen, left-hander. 2-5, and that's a fly to left. That's going to end the inning. So Austin Adams makes it through 2 innings, no problem. Well, sort of a problem there in the 8th, but he got around it. Nothing for the Reds as he gets the tough Frazier to fly to left. Down goes Frazier, down goes Frazier. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, and they're going to use Villarreal. He's like a filler. He's got long relief range. You don't want to use the rest of your bullpen. They want to save their better bullpen pitchers for the rest of the series. So Michael Bourne is your leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 8th. 6-9-1 for the Indians, 1-7-3 for the Reds. Villarreal 4-6. That is a 1-13 single. Anything else? It's a liner to second. And it's a 12, so it's going to get through for a base hit. Another hit for Cleveland. That's hit number 10. As the hits keep coming. But with up 6-1, they're going to call the dogs off and not attempt any steals. He will be held. They just don't want to give him a base. They got to hold him on, or he would take second base. Back to top of the order for Murphy. They want to keep the double play in order. 1-4. It's a pop out to short. 1 away. Suarez puts it away. Brings up Jason Kipnis. 4-8, and that's a single, 2 stars. Bourne will go to third on the single from Kipnis, and he just continues his hot hitting. That is hit number 11 now for the Cleveland Indians. Runners are at the corners with 1 out for Carlos Santana. And do the Reds really want to bring in another reliever and try to get out of the inning, or do they just want to let Villarreal take one for the team? I think you kind of have to have him take one for the team here. Kipnis not going to be held. 6-9. Let's make sure Villarreal does not get injured on the 6-9. I don't think he will, but it's close enough to check. 6-9, Villarreal's a 1. No, 6-12 would be his injury, so 6-9's okay. 6-9's a ground ball, second base B. So the run's going to score because they had the infield back for a double play, so the run will score. Kipnis will be out on the fielder's choice. Going to go 4-6, but they aren't able to turn the double play, and the run will score. It's now 7-1 in favor of Cleveland. So a fielder's choice it is. Going to go 4-6, and that'll bring up Brantley now with 2 outs. And let's see what they want to do here with Brantley. Actually, you know what? They're going to pull Brantley with a big lead and bring in a marginal player to give him an at-bat, and that's going to be Nick Swisher. Nick Swisher only had 101 at-bats on the season, hit 198, but they want to give him an at-bat. You're up 7-1, why not? So Swisher will be pinch hitting for Brantley just to get the bench an extra at-bat. And Swisher will not come into play left field because he's only ready to play right field. He'll go into right field, and Murphy will go to left field. That's what they'll do in the top of the 9th. But right now, here's Swisher. .18 for Swisher against a righty. He's going to ground ball to second base with a plus, but they weren't holding Santana on, so the plus does not come into play. It's just a 4-3 ground out to end the inning. So a run comes in for the Indians, and now defensively they will leave Swisher in right field and move Murphy to left. That's how they will play that. So now Murphy is in left field, and Swisher is in right field. All right, and for the Indians, they finished with 7 runs, 11 hits, and an error. Not sure about the Reds just yet. Reds actually had a 1-0 lead, so 7 unanswered runs by the Cleveland Indians. And the Reds' hopes of trying to catch the Indians faded very quickly. New pitcher for Cleveland is Austin Adams, went 2 innings, and they will cap him at 2 innings. Coming up for the Reds, it'll be Jay Bruce, Bird, and Pena. So they will go to a left-hander out of the bullpen, Mark Chabzinski. He was 2 in the regular season in 2015. He pitched 20 innings. He was 2-3 with a 4.43 ERA. Let's see what he is on the replay. In limited duty, of course. Chabzinski, 0-0 with a 3.60 ERA, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. So Chabzinski is in. And he'll be facing Bruce, Bird, and Pena here in the top of the 9th. 6-8. We'll check Chabzinski and see if that 6-8 causes him to be injured. Chabzinski for Cleveland. Let's see, he's on the extra players, so let's see where he is. Chabzinski. He's a 2, which is 6'11", so 6'8" is fine. 6'8", lefty on lefty. 6'8" is a strikeout, so he strikes out Jay Bruce. Out number 1. It's going to bring up Marlon Bird. 1-11, fly to left, 2 down. Chabzinski looking for a clean 1-2-3 inning. Brian Pena the last chance, but they will call Pena back, and they will go to a pinch hitter. Now the backup catcher is the DH, but I don't think you got to worry about that with the score being what it is. They want a right-hander in the lineup, and they're going to bring on Ivan De Jesus to try to pinch hit and see what he can do here against the lefty. So Pena is done, and Ivan De Jesus is on to pinch hit. So De Jesus on the season is hitting 250 and 16 at bats. So they just want to get him some at bats. 1 for 4, homer and 3 runs driven in. 6-6 against a right-hander, struck him out. It didn't matter. Ball game is over. Chabzinski pitches a 1-2-3 9th inning. And there's your line score right there. And we'll get the other numbers, left on bases and everything else, in just a second. But it is Cleveland winning again. What's new? As now Cincinnati has fallen 6 games back. 6 games back. I'm going to pause the video, print out the box score, and we'll go over it. All right, there is your final line score. Reds left on 6, Cleveland left on 9. 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Cleveland. They left on 9. 1 run, 7 hits, 3 errors, 6 left on for the Reds. Winning pitcher is Josh Tomlin. He's 2-0. He lowered his ERA to 2.25. Iglesias takes his first loss. His ERA jumps to 1.85. No save, obviously, with the score being what it was. Home runs in the game. The only home run in the game was Todd Frazier's 9th home run of the season. It was the only run for the Reds, but Cleveland just took care of business. And with that victory, they now widen their lead over Cincinnati to 6 games, and actually widen their lead over everybody else as well. As we look at the standings now, they will be 24-10, and Cincinnati will drop to 18-16. So Cincinnati will drop a half game behind Tampa Bay based on depending on what Tampa Bay does in their game coming up. The rest of Series 12, as we look at the schedule, remaining matchups, the Mets are at the Phillies, Boston's at Houston, San Francisco is at Seattle, and Arizona is at Tampa Bay. That's the remainder of the schedule. We'll play the rest of Series 12 offline. Come back with Series 13. Not sure what the matchup's going to be for that. We'll have to wait and see. But today's matchup here in Series 12, the Battle of Ohio, dominantly won by the Cleveland Indians by the score of 7-1. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic Demolition League 2015. And hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play in the hobby, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.